Hi, my name is Amara Charles, and I would like to read an excerpt from my book, The Sexual Practices of Quodoushka. And this chapter is about how we introduce ourselves and our children to the world of sexuality. It's about our language, and the chapter is called A Natural Language for Sex. Our language shapes the way we think, and the words we use carry messages about the way we feel. Imagine for a moment if a teenage girl was taught that her outer lips, if they were ever mentioned at all, are called butterfly wings, as opposed to introducing them as her labia majora. What if young men were taught they carried sacred jewels and precious seeds instead of testicles and semen? When we are introduced to the world of sex and genitals, we hear the words like corpus spongium, urethra, scrotum, prostate, labium, cervix, and the fallopian tubes. While most of these terms rarely find their way into our bedrooms, and they do serve a purpose, they are far from inspiring. The technical sounding language we use to teach children and train doctors deliberately siphons out much of the beauty and rich complexities of sex. Derived mostly from Latin, our scientific jargon neutralizes the subject and keeps us at arm's length from feeling anything remotely sexual when we say them. The more common words we actually use, such as vagina or penis, while they do the job, are less than poetic at best, and they convey a sense of the dispassionate distance Westerners have towards sex. Our sexual language often reveals the Western divide between our bodies and nature. While the Quodoushka names may not be as specific or precise, they are accurate, simple, and beautiful to say. Most of all, they convey an entirely different message about sex. They are inherently reverent, and as such teach us to regard ourselves, Mother Life, and our sexuality as sacred. It is hard, for example, to say the word tupuli without having a slight smile on your face by the time you finish saying it. It means a woman's vagina. Tupili, which invokes for us an image of an erect teepee, is the word for penis. Other names include Valley of Pleasure for the perineum, Head of the Cobra for the clitoris, Sacred Snake for the penis, and the Rear Cavern for the anus. While it might be a stretch to think about a Harvard professor or gynecologist saying, "We are going to examine your rear cavern," the Quodoushka names evoke something wonderful about sex. Using the images of nature to describe our sexual anatomy gives life to language and reflects inherently subtle, intricate, and sometimes poetic perceptions that are provocative and clear. The language of Quodoushka also suggests the originators of these teachings, much in the same manner indigenous people insightfully observe animals, plants, and the earth's changes, were remarkably astute in their understanding of human sexuality. Whatever language we may use to describe our genitalia, it is refreshing and empowering to have words that portray our erogenous zones in a positive, endearing manner. Perhaps the specificity of Western terms, together with the more nature-based names of Quodoushka, we can lay the foundation for becoming more aware and caring lovers. And perhaps, if we bring these words into our most private conversations, we can restore a sense of magic and mystery in our sexual lives. Thanks for listening, and I hope you'll consider buying a copy of The Sexual Practices of Quodoushka. You can buy it on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Inner Traditions, or we have special offers on AmaraCharles.com.